Shedeur Sanders with 445 yards. They win 31-26. They don't win the game without him. They don't win the game without Travis Hunter. Before we get into the game, if I just asked you after one game, if the Heisman Trophy was given out after Thursday night of Week 1, if we were voting Heisman today, would it be Shedeur Sanders or would it be Travis Hunter?
I'd go Shedeur Sanders.
I would go Travis Hunter.
I'd go Travis Hunter.
I'd go Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders, guys, gets hit almost every play.
Oh, look, I think watching him last night, I just want to say I think Colorado's really improved. I think North Dakota State's good.
Whoa. You think Colorado's really improved?
I do.
Well, their offensive front is no.
The offensive line is still terrible. But with all that said, they only gave up 1 sack last night.
They did, but that's because their quarterback is an absolute magician. I don't know how he gets out of them.
But, you look in the second half, I thought the defense settled down. They gave up the drive late. I don't know why you don't put somebody in that situation that actually can reach the end zone on the final throw.
I mean, the guy rotated quarterbacks with absolutely there was no rhyme or reason to why he was rotating quarterbacks.
Running quarterback in to throw it?
No, Cam Miller's leading him right down the field. Yeah. And the first time he rotated, I didn't know that was going to be part of the game plan. And they come back from the end of the first quarter, and he's the interview. And it was, who was the sideline? I can't remember. Allison Williams, right?
Yeah.
Ask him about Cam Miller. He goes, hey, look, Cam has been fantastic for us. He has been terrific. We just got to play better around him, all around. But Cam has been terrific for us. I can't ask more out of him. All right, Coach, thanks a lot. Gus says, all right, or the play-by-play guy. All right, Mark Jones. All right, North Dakota State's changed quarterbacks here to start the quarter. I'm like, the coach literally just said he's playing fantastic. You're beating a team.
I understand the situational where you brought in the bigger quarterback and the short yardage situations, but Cam Miller was really good.
Fantastic.
And he's a guy that's been in that system 4 years now. He had over 350 yards, 3 touchdowns, didn't turn the football over.
None.
But back to what we were discussing.
I think they're improved.
I think they're a little.
I think
improved.
I think you can make an argument they might have the best wide receiver room in college football.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Jimmy Horn Jr. I think when you look
fantastic.
at Will Shepard, underused last night, didn't really get the footwork on the sideline, on that one final drive where he stepped out. But I think Shepard is good, and obviously Travis Hunter is next level. That catch in the end zone, their final score, was crazy.
Fantastic. No, Travis Hunter's tremendous. And the question becomes always, can he hold up? Well, he held up last year. Right, I mean he plays every play.
Cheap shot knocked him out for.
Let me stop. The chat room is going nuts, saying Colorado's going to lose 8 or 9 games. They're going to lose regular. I agree. The Big 12 is that good. I'm just saying I believe this Colorado team is better than last year's Colorado team. That's all I'm saying.
Can I say they did look a little better coached by the coordinators? But what was Deion doing at the end?
You mean throwing on first down when all he's got to do is run?
I loved it because I ended up.
One of the points.
We had a winning night at Lance'sLog.com, but we split because we had Colorado minus the 9.5, depending on where you were shopping it. He was actually open though.
He was.
What are you doing?
Everybody thinks he's going to take a knee.
I know.
And he was wide open, and I thought maybe they did that just to cover.
Well,
that's the only reason you would do it.
Would you put it past
I
him?
would not put it past him. And I also thought about the fact that if he hits that, he goes over 500 yards.
Yeah.
And
that's probably
that is one of those
anything,
milestones too. You look at the box score and you're like, damn, he had 5 touchdowns and 500 yards.
Yeah.
And this team could end up winning the FCS this year.
Oh, no. Don't get me wrong. North Dakota
I think they
State's
could.
Of all the opponents I watched last night, like big team playing or another team playing another team, that was one of the most quality opponents I saw, like Western Carolina. Well, we'll get all this.
Yeah.
To answer your original question, if they've got to win 7 wins to get him the Heisman, there's 0 chance. That is not a 7-win
No, but
team.
if they win 7
he could win the Heisman.
Both of those guys will be Heisman finalists if they win 7 games. Because when you look at the schedule, what does Furman say?
What is Furman saying over there? Scott,
I'm more convinced than ever. If you poll the 68 Power 4 head coaches, 98.3% of them know the spread on their games, even if they won't admit it. I don't believe in coincidences late in the game.
I agree with Furman. I think there are, Mark Stoops, a perfect example. I mean, you watch a Kentucky game, he knows what the number is.
Oh yeah, you've pointed that out many times, and I thought when you pointed that out the first time it was just sour grapes out of you, but then I've watched it time and time again with him, and he plays to it.
Now, we're not insinuating anybody's illegally gambling. We're just saying that sometimes your big boosters and fans are gambling, and it makes the fan base happy.
Oh, I mean, you don't think the conversation's ever been had the night before a game, from Big Booster? I can see the guy with a cowboy hat right now that came in from Denver saying, Prime, I tell you, want you boys to win, stay healthy, but I got a hefty amount. I got 2 daughters in college, and I got a lot of money on you guys minus 9.5. Those conversations have been had. Now, whether or not, coaches really try to cover, I've seen a couple, and I agree with Furman. I don't think it's coincidental. I think there are situations where coaches late punch it in.
If I had, let's say at mybookie.ag, like I did last night, I had Colorado minus 10.5.
Okay.
And I was like,
that's why that pass was incomplete there. Yeah. You've gotten to the bottom of it.
So I'm sitting
My
there.
favorite game was Coastal, for the record. I told you that yesterday.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, God, if I'm going to lose the bet, I'd just assume Colorado lose the game.
Yeah.
Better storyline. He's going to take knees here. I was doing the math in my head. Does he have to throw it? Does he have to? He's going to take knees here. And then he throws it, and I was like, oh, that would have been awesome. What a bad beat it would have been if you had North Dakota State.
I'll say this, too. I know it's one game, but Shedeur might be the best quarterback in college football. We always say Carson Beck.
But,
but if you put Shedeur on Georgia's team, how good is he?
They'd be tremendous. I don't know who he wouldn't start for. You can say, I like Jalen Milroe better. That is fine. But you can't say he couldn't start at Alabama.
He would start at Bama.
You can say, I like Carson Beck better. That's fine. But you can't say he wouldn't start at Georgia.
Yeah, I think.
So you tell me next level. Everyone projects Carson Beck to be the first.
Well, it's going to be one of the two, for sure. Even before the performance last night,
so if the Rams had to have a quarterback in this draft, if
I'd rather have Shedeur.
You'd rather have Shedeur for the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. The dude. Do you see how accurate his passes are? And he gets no time.
He did underthrow it and hit the guy's calf for an interception in the end zone.
That was such a fluke, though.
That was a fluke. The defender dove at the receiver. The receiver stopped because the defender dove at his legs. I don't think it was necessarily a terrible pass.
Dude, time where he breaks out, pocket breaks down, he rolls left, comes back up, and he's got a guy crossing and threads the needle throws a BB. Like, I don't know a throw that he can't make. He's so athletic, and I know people over there that I'm jumping in.
No, you're right about this.
I don't.
Dave in the mybookie.ag chat room, I'm having audio issues. Did Lance just say that he's the best quarterback in college football?
I agree with Lance.
Yeah.
Do you watch the guy?
I would have told you.
I'm just reading the chat room.
But I would have told you before last night that he was the second best quarterback, and he might still be. I would have gone Carson Beck. But again, Carson Beck is surrounded by so much talent. I can't wait to see him against this Clemson defense tomorrow. I'm not changing my opinion. I'm just saying I think, I was the first, to say Colorado's going to lose 10 games this year. I just think they're improved. And I think what their defense did in the second half was more impressive to me than really. I'm not shocked that he went 445 and, that Horn Jr. and Travis Hunter had the games they had. I'm more surprised the defense was able to make adjustments in the second half and settle down.
Yeah. I'm going to ride with Pavlik and Landmine Believer here. I've seen a lot of great North Dakota State teams, and this one performed better than I thought. They were well coached and they had a plan. I'll take the field against North Dakota State to win the playoffs.
You'll take the field against North Dakota State?
Oh, I would too.
Yeah, I would. But so what do you think their record is in FCS?
They had a terrible year by their standards. They won 11 games last year, and they were.
I know. But South Dakota State, who still plays Oklahoma State this weekend, is the better Dakota right now.
Well, they may be.
Yeah, right now, maybe.
Yeah, so
different season, though. And that's why I believe Colorado is improved. So I will give Deion credit in that regard. It is one game, and their schedule's really difficult. And I still think, I'll go from 2-10 to 4-8 because I think the schedule's that difficult. But I was impressed, man. I've always thought Shedeur was really good. We talked about the fact he was sacked 54 times last year and still only turned the football over 3 times.
Now, they are going to get worked in primetime next week. You wait. They're going to get worked by Nebraska.
It's going to get worked by Nebraska.
In primetime.
So what have we done the last 10 minutes?
We've talked about how great their quarterback is.
I think
I don't know why does a quarterback have to be on a good team to be great?
Right.
That's what I don't get. He's on a crappy team.
Dylan Raiola might be the next great college quarterback, but if you put Shedeur on that team last year, Nebraska wins 8 games. Nebraska wins 8 games last year with that defense.
I don't understand.
They had a top 15 defense.
Yeah.
They were 5-7. They lost a bunch of one-possession games, and they had Jeff Sims was starting quarterback for them at times.
I don't understand this in the mybookie.ag chat room, and why he can't be a great quarterback on a terrible team. That's what he is. It's 100% what he is. He's a great quarterback on a terrible team. Is that
But in the last 10 minutes, we did say that Colorado may have the best wide receiving room in college football.
They might.
That did
They
come out,
might,
right?
yeah.
They might.
So it's not a terrible team then. They've got the best wide receiving room in college football and the best quarterback.
They've got a offensive line that would get anybody else just about killed.
Right.
Absolutely
Yeah, I don't
killed.
know why people are upset that I know everybody hates Dion right now.
Yeah, I think Jalen Milroe got sacked 36 times
And
last
he,
year.
it was 36, but he saved a lot.
Check me on that. It's
All right,
close.
I don't think it was 36. That's
may-
a lot
it may
of
have been
sacks.
higher.
That's David Carr.
It may have been higher. It was a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah, I'm just saying I think the team's improved. I still think they're going to be a 3-9, 4-8 type team. But Shedeur Sanders is the real deal. Travis Hunter is the real deal.
I mean, those are two of the best players in America.
You know, Jimmy Horn Jr. is really undersized, so we'll see what his projection is at the next level. But he's got a good skill set.
Do you think if this was not FCS versus home team, I assume Big 12 officiating crew, do you think we'd ever had a push-off call on Travis Hunter last night?
No, he pushed off on
He
one of those
did.
touchdowns. But I will say they let both